Hi, did you win the Postlude this week by doing the races at the car meet? Because one of my viewers did, Adam, and then said to me, what can I do with it? And I said, I don't know, I haven't got one because I didn't know what to do with it. So I thought, well, I better go off and win one and find something. And I found something really, really nice. This is Coors Honda Prelude. I think it looks absolutely stunning, a real credit to him. I've taken the photos from StanceWorks and the article is linked below. There's a lot of photos and a bit of text, and it's well worth the read to find out all about this car. Let's build it. Before we get going, I think it's really hard to see what we're doing with this horrific paint scheme and livery. So we will dump the livery first. Do note that it's yellow on top, pink underneath, and that is your primary and your secondary colour distribution on this car. Well, I've got a nice crew colour for the car. It's called citrus green. It's sometimes used on old muscle cars, and I got the citrus green colour from gtacolors.com. I've used it before, so we're going to use that for the primary and the secondary. Now, I spent the 4 days I needed to win this car trying other colours, trying to colour pick, etc., as I've shown in previous videos. I could not improve on citrus green. It's very close to what we want, so we're just going to use that. So we put it on the secondary as well, and for the pearlescent I went for wood beach brown. It seems to give just the right sort of look when the sun hits the car. Well, there we go, that's wood beach brown. I think it looks really good. I think it gives just the right amount of shine, and then you get the darker sort of citrus green in the shadow. Whilst we're on this, we may as well just do the trim colour as well, and for the light colour in the car I'm going sandy brown. We get unfortunately one or two too many things sandy brown, like the steering wheel, but overall it works pretty well. And then back to the top, so always put on 100% armour because it needs to look good after the crash. And for the bumpers, the stock bumpers both front and back pretty much have the exact same shape. They're not quite, but they're very close, and the other ones are further away. So stock bumpers. There were no under bonnet photos, so that's good. You don't need to spend any money trying to match the look of the engine. Do pop your stage 4 tune on. Now for the exhaust, there's a very small dark double exhaust coming out of the back of Kai's car. But I think this stock exhaust doesn't do it any form of justice. I should add the car does only have the standard 80 horsepower anyway, so you wouldn't expect a monster engine. So in the end, I think just go for one of the slightly nicer looking single pipes, and I reckon that the chrome tuner exhaust is probably the one to go for, but the normal tuner exhaust is okay if you like a little bit of that blue or you want to darken the colour. All the arch options remove the centre trim, which is perfect, and for us plastic arches is exactly what Kai's car has. Headlight covers, well, we don't want silly bits of red glass, so straight onto the hood, where we're very pleased because the stock hood basically is about right. Internally we can leave most of it standard, like the dash, the door cards. Kai does have a half cage, a sort of street half cage in his car, which we can put in. It's not quite the right shape, and we can't paint it yellow of course because it's tied to the, I think it's the secondary colour on the car. So we're going to have it as body coloured, but still at least we can have the cage, which is great. Our seats are standard. Steering wheel, I went through them all, and I think just stay with the stock even though it is brown. I left the headlights stock. I don't know whether they were upgraded or not on his car, but I think the yellowy ones would look better. And for the mirrors, these classic mirrors are perfect. I mean, at $11,000 in the real world you could buy a car there for the price of some mirrors, but anyway. License plate up to you. It seems to be wearing some form of a vanity plate in the photograph, so we don't know what is really on there. I like the yellow on black though, so that's a fairly simple pick. And onto the roof, I have gone stock. Technically the next one down, antenna, is correct because in that corner there is a little retracted antenna in the photographs, but I don't like having the antenna out, so I'd rather go stock. We need a black sun strip, and luckily the last option is that, the carbon one. Moving on to the splitters, the one that says extended lip is actually very good. It's painted body colour, it's very close, it's really what we want. And onto spoilers, well I'm a little sad here because the plastic lip spoiler riveted on is pretty much the exact correct shape, but Kai has a custom sheet metal one in body colour, which this high level spoiler is almost slightly more like, but of course that is a spoiler, not a complete sort of ducktail. So I think it's a choice of those two, because everything else, as you can see, is just wrong. Now I went for the plastic lip spoiler. I think the plastic goes well with the bumpers and the arches, but if you went high level, yeah, I think that would be fine as well. Now if you dump it to the floor, of course you get this ridiculous, like, my car is broken, and in the UK it would fail the MOT, which is our annual check for the roadworthiness of your car. Obviously looks a bit daft. But if we lift it 1 to sport suspension, that's great. The car is low, the tops of the tyres are inside the arches. I like that. So sport suspension is the one. Transmission and turbo up to you. I didn't do them on mine. For the wheel type, well, we have a bit of a problem because Kai's car has awesome wheels and this game does not have awesome wheels, and of course it doesn't have wheels that fill the arches, so we're going to do our best. I don't want a low profile tyre because Kai's does not have one, and I want chrome, and that restricts us to only a few sections. One of those is tuner, where you can have a load of chrome wheels. The stanced EG do not look bad. They don't look bad. It's not enough dish, but they're the sort of right shaped spokes. We're missing a spoke, but I think this is a very viable option. Endo V2 dish. Well, as you know, the endos have a little curl on the edge of the spoke there, which is not quite right, but at least there are 6 spokes. There's a bit more dish and they're very shiny, so these I think are a very good contender. There's other ones in this category that work okay. There's one called Choku Dori. Again, 6 spokes in the right sort of shape, but there's something that doesn't quite work for me with this wheel. It's hardly dished either, and I just don't like it, I'll be honest. And another one that seems to work on the surface is, I think, the next one down. Yeah, the chicane. But why does it have 15 wheel nuts? I don't know. The centre of those wheels ruin it for me, unfortunately. Now that's about it in the tuner category, and there was none in the muscle that worked. If we were to ignore the chrome, we could look for one single wheel in the street category that doesn't get too far off, which is this V8 Killer. Big deep dish, 6 spokes. It's not a million miles off, but I can't stand the middle here, being in so-called alloy colour, not silver. So I'm ignoring that one, and I've decided ultimately let's go with the Endo V2 dish. Despite being not quite the right shape, for me they evoke this car the most. There's no tinted window, so that completes the build. Let's have a look. As I said before, I think that the real car looks stunning, and please click on the link below to Stanceworks, visit their page, read about the car and see all the rest of the photos, and it's a definite credit to Kai. Well, I'm pleased to say that the in-game one has come out really well. I mean, I still think the real car looks better because of the wheels that were available to it, but at least we've got the stance, we've got the colour, we've got the overall look. And I think now this is a really pleasant, lightly customised car to keep in my garages. So Adam, thank you so much for suggesting it, because I would not have bothered to do the races, I would not have bothered to win it, because I didn't know what to do with it, and now look what we've got. So Adam is of course contractually obligated to like this video, but if everybody else could like this video as well, that would be really appreciated. Obviously it would help me with growing the channel. If you've got any comments on this build, on Kai's car, or if you've got requests for other cars you'd like me to make in the game, either a specific car or indeed just a vague sort of take a Sabre Turbo and build what you can type of request, then that would be great. And if you like real cars in GTA, please do consider subscribing, because most of the people who watch my videos actually aren't subscribed, and it would be great. It would again help grow the channel just that little bit more. I'm going to leave the car running down the street for another 30 seconds or so for you to enjoy if you wish, but otherwise the video is over. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching.